Yeah,
So
man.
on this note,
Yeah,
how did R&B Only being on this lineup come to fruition? Like,
Yeah.
what was
Man,
the chit chat like?
so excited
I've
to
been
play.
a huge fan of y'all for a very long time. I'm a huge fan of just this guy and anything that he's ever built. But then going back to just trying to do something different, right, within the festival space. I want to do the live experience and this, that, to the third, and going back to the economy. Like, how do we keep uplifting our economies? And with my festival, I have a deal with the Live Nations of the world, right? So I know that. So within that, it's like, oh, I may have a little chicken to be able to, like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of make this thing right. But why wouldn't I spend it within my own economy?
Yes,
Right.
You know what I mean?
yes,
Like,
yes.
so that was why. And y'all got a wave. I mean, it's R&B only. Y'all smack, yo. Yeah, bro. Like,
I'm excited to hit the
smacking.
stage and honored too.
Y'all are
just
smacking.
Let
be
me
there.
say that, you know, Roots
Respect.
Picnic Festival came out first. It
Yeah.
came out first.
Yeah, shout out to me for that too.
But I want to publicly say right here, right now, on the R&B Only show, the first person to ever book us on a festival was Brandon from Broccoli City.
That's
That
me.
was the first
Broccoli
person
City B.
wherever went down and said, you know what, I want you guys on my festival.
Yeah.
It just so happened that Roots Picnic came out first, but
Yeah.
we were officially booked on Broccoli
fire.
City first and foremost. And I think that's just telling, man. And it
And
really,
thank you for accepting.
of course, man. Of course. It was just like, I just feel like so many of us, and I want this and much more of this, like what we're doing right now, to send a message to the young folks out there that, like, just because you're in the same space or doing something
Doesn't mean
similar
it's competition.
doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's competition.
At all.
Everybody can
Yeah.
eat.
Yeah.
Everybody can work together.
There's room for everybody.
There's room for everybody.
Yeah.
Just because you're succeeding doesn't take away any of my success. Just
Right.
because you're making money doesn't take any money out of
Right.
my pocket.
Facts.
And they
But
do
that-
it on a high level.
Right.
Let me just
for
break this
sure.
down, right? Okay, so look at the level in which we're collaborating, right? We're on this festival. He comes on a podcast. We're going to support each other. We're going to do much more stuff, right? Now, people would think that Apple and Google are huge competitors. But Apple signs a deal with Google so that Google is the default search engine across
On Apple
all of
computers.
their Apple, not just computers,
Devices.
mobile devices, right? What type of deal is that, right? That's a deal in the billions with two competitors who offer the same products and the same type of things to the marketplace, and they're still working together on that high level. So if you're not working together with your homie,
Bruh.
something is wrong.
There's,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
more,
I know,
there's
man.
more growth in collaboration than there is in,
For
trying to
sure.
challenge each other.
I feel
And
like
that ego shit.
Issa,
too.
Yeah.
Issa did an
Where?
interview. This isn't, and not anytime recently, but she was saying how, like, a
Yeah,
lot
back
of
in the
people
day.
try to
Network
like
up.
network up, and it's about networking
Networking
across.
Yeah.
Horizontally.
I'm a firm
Yeah.
believer
Yes.
in that,
Yeah.
bro.
Yes.
And it works because it's your A alike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What Ho say? A
Yeah.
alike, B
Yeah.
alike. He said we don't vibe no more because we don't see
alike,
alike. But when
yeah.
you meet somebody that you A alike, B alike, and you do vibe with them because y'all see alike, that's a vibe. You know what I mean? But
Right.
you can only get that going across because we're experiencing the same things at
Right.
the same time.
Right.
So like Jabari going through he calling me B.
Yeah.
Yo, bruh. Yo, I'm talking to so-and-so at LN. Do you know them? Because this is some da-da-da-da-da. And I'm calling Jabari like, yo, as far as that one track, when you played it at 11:30, how did that go when you was in Detroit? Like,
Yeah,
are people
yeah.
really feeling that? Or and he like, nah, B, you got to do that in, you know what I mean, Toronto or whatever the case may be. We're just going through it at the same time. And it's a vibe. You know what I mean?
And then too, also you have, and this is what I feel like happened in our generation, and then didn't happen in this current generation. And I'm trying to encourage them to change their ways. You know, people, I know the kids say, you know, we outside, right? But like, it's different. Like, we were really outside.
Yeah.
Like, we were really going to artist listening parties. We were really running around the city going to shows, or if somebody had this event here, or if somebody had this little pop-up here, we were actually going there, supporting your friend. You would buy your friend's t-shirt. You would buy, you know, the tickets to your friend's event.
Yeah,
you
people
would,
don't do that
You
no
would do
more.
this stuff, right?
I don't want us to sound like
Well, hold on,
we
hold on,
like
hold on.
the old cats
No.
banging on the young cats.
But this is
'Cause I
what
think
I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. It was actually in-person meetups and hangouts, and right now I feel like you you support
Even if you
somebody,
are supporting,
even if you
it
are
looks
supporting somebody,
different.
a lot of it is digital. And I'm just saying that you got to get off the phone
Yeah.
and get outside.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
A lot of that is the
work. You know what I'm
pandemic,
saying?
though, and just
Like,
transitions with the times, and people just been adapting to what's been going on.
Yeah.
but there's not even as a community, as a culture, we don't have cookouts, family reunions as much anymore.
we
We
don't.
don't have hangouts on Saturdays where you just come over with the kids and bring them to, you know what I mean? It's like these type of things need to happen more. And I'm saying like when you are, trust and believe you're going to get to a time where you settle down, life starts moving slower. You have a kid. I can,
God willing, they be moving too
I'm a
damn fast.
living testament of this where everything starts to come inward, right? My world right now, as much as I'm, doing business and I'm a CEO of an up and coming company, if it ain't really involving like the two ladies at my house, like my kid and my girl, like you know what I mean? Like it's hard for me to come and just be as supportive and come to things that I'm not producing and doing. So what I'm saying is like you young folks, you have nothing but time on your hands.
An opportunity
Get
to
up
do
and
it.
out, get off the phone and
Yeah.
get in the street, go into your community and do stuff with the people that are like-minded, because there's nothing more valuable to like actual networking and building relationships than shared experiences.
Right.
You can't have a shared experience with somebody in
From
a
your
DM,
house,
in a
yeah.
group DM.
From your house and they
it's
at
not,
their
it's not
house,
happening.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like, we have actual stories that we can say. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, and that's what I think is the difference now. Now, I would just encourage y'all to just put the phone down
I would
and get up and
say,
moving.
I would say to that, I would gonna play not devil's ad,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna fully agree because I do see some of y'all outside. Like I see some of y'all, but to your point though, it's probably a 50-50. Like 50% you outside, the other 50 you talking to somebody in the phone. You know what I mean? Versus us, because of no choice, unless you was hitting a nigga up on MySpace, you gonna meet him, you know what I mean, 100% outside. You know what I mean? But I do see, I will say that shout out to all the young curators that I'm seeing within the Los Angeles area. You know, I see, parties and different little things, you know what I mean? And for everybody doing it, I would just say keep that consistency going. Because I see a lot of people like, they really own it, trying to figure it out. And I think that we gonna get back outside because us as human beings, we gotta, you know what I mean? Like at some point you gotta like.
Everything cycles in and out anyway.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So.
And I'm not saying that you can't, like it's not a one or the other. I would have loved to have social media in our era because we would have elevated. It would have been faster.
Yeah.
It would have been faster.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had it, but it just wasn't
Not at the level that we have it
it's at
now.
right now.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that like, just use them both wisely.
Right.
Don't lean 100% on the social media,
Right.
and don't just be outside and not having people seeing
Use
what you're
every
doing.
tool that's
the
given
other,
to you,
the other
every
part of it
resource
is
you
like
have.
the other
Yeah.
part of it is like
Every
you could
tool.
just be outside and you could just be doing what you're doing outside, but you're gonna be limited if
Yeah.
you don't use the social media and amplify what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a balance for sure.
Yeah, it's a
By
balance for
using
sure.
every resource you got. Really.
I love that tool, what you said about tool. I had met my man Rasta. He used to live in my building, right? This was back when we thugging it out, you know what I mean? This, that, to the third. And he from New Orleans, and he was a hood cat, you know what I mean? Like, but he was my man though. And his mom came to visit him one time, right? And they from New Orleans, this, that, to the third. And I never forget, I went down there and talked to her. You know, she baby, you know what I mean? Like she giving bars out. And I had a phone that was broke. Like the screen was broke. You know, we thugging at this time, right? And I'm like, yo, can you put your number in my phone? And he was very proud of me. You know how your hood friend be. He be proud,
yeah.
like, man, you got colors worldwide. And
Yeah.
telling you, boy, you're doing your motherfucking thing. That's how he was about me. So his mom said to me, make sure you use the right tools, baby. And you get the best tools to do what you're doing. You know what I mean? So ever since then, I always think about my phone, like making sure that I got the best gigs for my shit. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you got the iPad, you got the little tools, if you can afford it. But that's just where my mind went when you said tools, because you need the tools. So that's another tip to the youth. And then
Absolutely.
use the social media as a tool. Use your thing as a tool, but use the tools.
Yeah. How
That's-
much are you using these things as tools versus entertainment? I think
Ooh.
because
That matters.
when
That's a conversation.
when
How
you
you
are
use it.
when you are
Yeah.
just entertaining yourselves, these things can be a distraction.
For sure.
When you are using them as a tools, these things can be the thing that empowers you and gets you up out of the situation that you're in.
Wow.
Amen.
R&B only.